He must say yes. Make him say yes.
Hello. Oh, is mine working? Ah, it's only me. It's a Swift stream. Good morning, everyone. Just the way it should be. With me, your stream master, Swifty. Doig will be joining us because he is otherwise indisposed. And he can't get his mic to work. So I guess it's just you and me. And my cup of tea. Is Doig okay? Ah, who cares? He'll be fine. He's giving me a withered stare. Yeah, he's good. I think he's just battling technical difficulties. You know, that third member of the stream that's always here. I have some Earl Grey. It's super good. Today is Anna Morning. It's the Anna Morning challenge this morning. For the first time in ages. We're gonna look at the 3-frame loops that you guys have been doing. I would never do anything to Soft Boy Doig, Dangerous Sponge. I'd feel too bad.
I think it's working.
Hey! That sound effect didn't do much to convince people that I hadn't tried to murder you.
I'm here.
I'm just crawling up to the microphone.
Oh, bro, it's been 3,000 years. It has. Feels like it's been 3,000 years. Since the dawn of time. The last time we did this, dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Sure.
Last time we did this, COVID hadn't even happened.
We've done this during COVID.
Yeah, we have. It's just I'm just
okay.
exaggerating time.
Alright, okay.
Feels like it's been a long time.
Pretty much only done this during COVID.
That's not true. We did it since way before COVID.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't know if we did it.
Yeah, we did it since way before COVID. You're shaking your head at me. I'm sure we have.
COVID's been since March.
Yeah?
We've only done this since March.
No. No. Someone in chat testify. Tell me I'm right. It is a short exaggeration from dinosaurs. But COVID feels like it's been around since the dawn of time. It feels like I've been trapped in this place. It's really not been as bad for us as I think it has been for other people because we're so used to just staying in our butts anyway. Doy. I love these fan arts so much.
Yeah, me too.
Staring at them cycling around. The one of you painting a booby woman.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that was Verdi's little doodle of me. She's since done another one for my birthday, and it's glorious. It's magical. I should put that on the slideshow.
Artemis says, "I fought the stream and the stream won." I added that last little bit, but I've got that song in my head.
Here's
Ben
one.
Powell. For me, not much changed. I'm locked up at my PC like old boy. Yep, same here. Same here. It's what it was like before COVID, and it's what it's been like during COVID. So for us, the lifestyle hasn't really changed much. The animation industry is really booming. Can't speak, guys. There's had to have been, there we are, a lot of changes with people learning how to work from home and studios learning how to have people work from home. But other than that, the animation industry is one of the ones which has not been too changed by it.
Oh, not too detrimentally altered.
No. Because people have been able to work from home. And animation is a type of filmmaking that doesn't rely on people actually getting together on physical sets. Apart from stop motion.
Yeah, who knew that all animation it needed to thrive was a plague, a pandemic.
I wouldn't say it's like I wouldn't say the pandemic has made it thrive, but I think it's think it's actually streamlined the industry a bit because we've kind of learned what we can live without, and studios are having to like rethink their pipelines, which a lot of them haven't done for a very long time. Ola says, Bean! Oh yeah!
Thank you for the subscription. Yay!
Robin, thank you so much. I was gonna say, you guys seen Bean? I gotta show you guys Bean.
You want to show them Bean?
Everyone's gotta see Bean. For anyone who hasn't seen Bean, Sean, but not Sean Bean, has directed a project called Bean that I got to work on. The work I did for it was ages ago now. It was way back at the beginning of the project. I did a couple of rough shots. All credit to Sean, who took those shots forward and cleaned them up and made them beauteous. But I was at least a part of it, and it's really cool. I think it's super fun. I'm going to link you guys to it. So Studio Mala is Sean's company, and this is a tweet. It's awesome. Please check it out. And Studio Mala are an amazing company, so you should support them and scream about them because they're great.
Yeah, it's a very cool little short.
Vert says, I saw Bean. It was so weird. Yep, that is Sean's brainchild right there. He was like, I have an idea for a short. It's about a bean that turns everyone into beans.
Bean!
I was like, I'm in.
Bean. I have something that I want to show people.
You do?
Yeah.
It can't be better than the bean.
It's a 14-minute episode made by Wisdom Nun. It's called Bob's World, Episode 1, Conflict in Orbit, and it's a really cool animation.
Has anybody else seen this? It's basically an entire episode or something. It's basically a 15-minute short film.
Yeah.
So we don't necessarily expect you to watch it now, but you should definitely check it out. And the cool thing about it, as far as I'm concerned, like beyond the fact that it's just super cool to see an animator do such a long project and pull it off, is that the person who made it is 15 years old. Like, what the heck, dude? It's awesome. So please check that about that because it's amazing. So awesome. Are you gonna link it into the chat, Mike?
I have linked it. How cool is that as a name as well? I like that. Thought it was on their Twitter profile, but Wisdom Nun.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's mostly family that helped them out with it because in the credits there's a lot of nuns as last names.
Really, that's really cool.
So I think them and their siblings or just the rest of the family, did a bunch of the voices and everything on it. It's all animated and directed by one person though, with them doing some of the voices as well.
It's inspiring. Made me want to make my own stuff.
Heck yeah! So cool. So young to be making like such a huge film as well, and to be doing it so well. Alright, Doig, what we doing?
We're gonna look through animations that were submitted to the Animorning Challenge. Have you got it all up on your screen and stuff?
I do, though. Maybe I should refresh because I think you've added a couple.
Oh, yeah.
You've added one.
I added one.
Is there another one?
And I linked you one.
You linked?
In Discord.
Okay.
Grab that first.
Oh, sure.
Wow, 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 wow.
Cute.
Michael, listen to me. Hang on, Dad. Thank you for Kurzik for that fan art. That is also something I want to get back to, is playing games with my dad.
My dad.
I'm going to be finishing up Mystic Crystal very shortly, so hopefully after that's done.
You can't say that.
What?
I'm joking. You can say whatever you want. I don't think anyone will mind.
Good
morning, Teep. How is Mystic, by the way? Do you feel like you're going to be good for the deadline today? We have many deadlines.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah, they rendered out stuff when I slept, and there's a couple more tweaks to do it.
Okay. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Can I share your screen now?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Go
okay.
for it.
Cool. Oh, look at Tip.
Tip.
Let me find the thing that says the morning challenge. There we go.
Welcome back to the Anemone Challenge, the challenge that we make that you also partake in and you have a good time doing. And sometimes we try and help if we see something we can help with. Ooh.
Ooh.
Anemone Challenge.
Anemone.
There you go.
Get your mornings filled with anemone.
This is our extended theme song.
Anemone.
Have a good morning to you.
Have a fulfilling breakfast with the Anemone Challenge.
It just keeps going.
This Anemone Challenge is sponsored by Anemone Challenge.
Anemone Challenge is brought to you by Squarespace. That glasses company that everyone's also doing, where they give you glasses. Real Ray earbuds. I don't know whatever they're called. Nutri-Grain, breakfast bars, Eat Smart, and Stitch Fix deliver Blue Apron to your door. Dash.
This stream is brought to you by Sony PlayStation 5.
Yep.
Send me one.
Officially endorsed by Sony PlayStation 5. And Xbox. For the first time ever, they've united together under the Anemone banner because they both endorse us and love us so much that they decided to put aside their differences. And
yeah, we solved the console wars.
We did.
Single-handedly. We were like, why not both? And realizations happened across the world.
Yeah, we are sponsored by both PlayStation 5 and Xbox and
World Peace.
Nintendo one.
The Nintendo.
Yep, NordVPN as well. They're also our sponsor. Coca-Cola. All of them. All of the big names.
All of Coca-Cola, the big name. LucasArts.
Yep. Viacom. Thank you, Viacom, for your sponsorship. We know you don't normally do that, but thanks for making an exception and making it as your first sponsor. Disney, Pixar. All the big names. Ola, you're sponsored by Ola.
Sponsored by Ola. Yeah.
Who pays us in subscribers. The great subscriber gift exchange between us and Ola continues.
Adobe passed up the opportunity.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Fuck Adobe.
What?
They didn't sponsor us, they passed you up the opportunity.
Did you swear?
I did.
Oh.
I would normally, but all my sponsorships are very close to my heart. Because why else would we do this apart from for sponsorships? Anyway, we've dilly-dallied enough. We should probably actually look at the animation. We stalling for some reason, just having fun. We just got carried away. But here we are. This is Tib. This animation is Tib embodied within an animation. Thank you for your free frame loop, Tib.
Thank you.
I might have to slow this down. It says it's at 24 frames a second, but we'll see. Let's play it and have a look and see. Oh, look how cool! Tib, you did 3. Did you do 3?
She did a 3-flame challenge.
It's pretty good. You did do 3. These are all different. I was looking at the one on the left and the one in the middle and being like, are they the same but just on staggered timing? But they're not. I was expecting 3 different ones all starting from different... I was expecting 3 of the same ones all starting from different frames. But you've done 3 different flames. All starting from different frames. So cool. Oh man, it's going to be really hard for me to give you any kind of feedback on this because effects are not my forte. I guess the thing I could give some feedback on is it feels like some of the bits breaking away from the flames are getting a little bit bitty. And I think it's because it doesn't feel like they're really spreading out enough from the flame. It also feels like it would be nice to have them travelling different rates. However, I'm not sure how you do that because this is a 3-frame loop. So it's really hard to have anything travelling at any kind of slow speed in comparison to anything else, while also having it spread out a long way. That's something you'd probably want to do on another layer on top of the 3-frame loop. That's not on a 3-frame loop. So I think you've done as good as you can do on a 3-frame loop.
One of the cool things about a looping animation is that you can have a subject start its loop and end, and then at the beginning of the loop continue it across the loop, like Tib is doing here. You can see some of the particles raising up. They're there are multiple instances within the loops, inner loops. We should come up with a term, and if there's not one already.
Where one part of your loop joins onto a different part of the loop later on. So it basically means that you get to use six frames instead of using 3 frames.
Let me look at the form that Tib's talking about.
Oh yeah, I'll leave this playing while you do so people can enjoy it. Look how cool. I just want to colour them in and stick glows on them.
Tib says 3-flame loop, get it? Question mark. This is interesting actually. I haven't done many 3-frame loops, so this was largely experimental. It's tricky getting things to not feel stuttery and making things follow a path or triangle without it looking like they do.
Yeah.
There's some areas I was more successful with and other areas I know I wasn't. Overall, I had a good time with this.
Yeah. I'd agree for sure. I really like this little section here where you have this movement going up where one part of the loop joins onto another part of the loop later on to give you more frames to work with. That's really clever. It's tough too, doing 3-frame loops with flames. You can't really do shapes that draw too much attention to themselves because it just makes it more obvious that there's a loop. Any big movements you do, it's going to become really obvious that that's what you're doing in the loop. Such as this little bit where it breaks away. Because there's quite a big chunk here that breaks away, it ends up making it more obvious that it's a loop. Just because we can see that repeated shape happening again and again. I mean, I guess the smart thing to do with 3-frame loops, if it was part of the challenge, I appreciate this wasn't part of the challenge, but if you're going to practically use this, you do a couple of different versions of the 3-frame loop that you could stutter in and out so that you could add a little bit of variety to it, even if it's just the middle frame changing a little bit.
Could you explain the reasoning behind triangles, Tib? Is that because it's 3 points? If you were doing a circle, you could only do 3 points because it's 3 flames. To have things. What is this? What is this motion, India?
That's a circle, Mike. You're drawing a circle in the air.
A circular motion, then.
Or do you mean this, Tib?
Oh, cool. Things either go round in a triangle shape or they head off in a path. Yeah. Or they could go round in a circular shape for 6 to 9 frames.
Yeah. That's super cool. Yeah. Take notes. Tib, if you explain this, you're the one to explain this because I have no clue. But that's super cool. Paths and triangles are the two main ways you think about stuff in 3-frame loops. It makes sense. You know, 3 points for 3 frames, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's kind of circular as you can get in 3 frames, without leading those frames into other parts of the animation.
Yeah.
By which I mean, like, exactly what Tibbs has done. I can find it. Yeah. Here, where we have 1, 2, 3. But then we also have 4, 5, 6. So, as you can see there, that feels like one continuous motion over 6 frames. 6 frames, even though you only have 3 frames to work with, because you're essentially drawing 2 frames at the same time.
Yeah.
Within the loop, which is really clever. So let's see. Tib says, I started each flame with the top of the flame, making sure it'd move in a triangle shape to keep a loop going. Then adding a kind of ball underneath, making the shapes run up the sides in a path, looping the animation to continue where they go. Hinkapink says, this feels like witchcraft. Yeah, so you can see here.
I used a similar technique in this for the you remember that animation I made of Midge running away from a bunch of glums?
Yeah.
I had the glums turn into one another throughout the loop so that I could have more glums moving, and they sort of like bounced around and continued their path throughout the loops. It was fun. Most of that was just inventing straight ahead things, of being like, okay, for this first loop you're going to go from here to here, and then for the second loop you're going to continue from here to here, and then build it up over that way. I don't know if I have that to show.
Yeah.
But that was over like eight frames.
That's cool. Yeah. Depending on how you look at it, this could also be part of that triangle. But yeah, just looking at the shape that a tip is crafting with the top of these flames, having them go in what looks like a circular motion. I think probably the leftmost is my favourite. Because I feel like that feels like everything is travelling up the most in terms of the exterior shape of it.
Yeah.
And I like the kind of kick it has at the top. Super cool.
There's one shape in the middle one that keeps catching my eye, and it's like right in the middle of the main flip shape.
Is it this little heart?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, that's the problem, is because you want to put interesting shapes in your animation, right? But at the same time, the more interesting you make your shapes, the more you can see the repetition.
Yeah.
Looking awesome though. Like, I don't have much critique for this. Just something for me to learn from, I think. If you were gonna use this in something, having an overlay of slower drifting sparks that travel over a larger distance and over more frames, and also then adding in, you know, a variety of cycles where just a frame is changed, or you have like a slightly different cycle you can ping between for variety's sake, and it would be like perfect. But for the 3-frame loop, this is awesome, Tib. Nice work. I'm glad you had fun doing it too, and learned some stuff. Man, guys, I didn't have time to do one. I'm sad.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll... I have to, in one of the vines I'm doing, do some stuff simmering in the pan. So maybe I'll make that a free-frame loop.
Oh yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw, awesome work, team. I'm just going to put a little note at the top to say amazing work. Because I feel like I need to write something on it. Since we're in Sketchfab. We're not, we're in Sync Sketch! I've been doing this for a long time and I'm still never going to get the name right first time. Thanks, Dark Vault. I caught myself just in time. Alright. Let's have a look at the bird brains.
Z.
Look at this. It's not a grid. It's some kind of X marks the spot. How mysterious. It looks like a field guide.
I think it's a field guide from Toon Boom.
Toon Boom that she's left on. I remember she says that sometimes she uses the grid tool in Toon Boom to get herself a floor plane. Maybe this is like another version of that where she's used the field guide.
I think so. She says, I learned how much stuff this unfinished rig was missing. But hey, it was fun to play around with it. Tried to pose it quickly without drawing a pose underneath, like some of my friends do. It's bad. I do not recommend. Never again. Glad to have you back. Much love to both of you.
Aww. Aww, thank you, Zeb. Yeah, I also am someone who finds it much easier to draw the pose underneath first. Let's have a look at what you got. Oh, awesome! It's like they are falling through the air. You can just imagine the speed lines of the woo, woo, woo. Adding speed lines on. No one can stop me. Let me make this hold. Oops. Aha! There we go. They create the illusion now that you're falling through the air. This is really nice. I really like, again, like we're looking at those circular movements. So if you have a look at the for example, the heel of the foot here. We've got that kind of circular movement.
Hey, Psycho, how you doing?
Or as Tib would put it, a triangular movement. Same with the other foot. I think that's what you guys are going for. So let's see, critiques I could give. I would say for some of the movements where they feel like they're just going back and forth, like this wrist. Right here, look for the more circular movement. And make sure that that's reflected in the elbow. Because at the minute, just the wrist is moving by itself. Which feels a little bit unnatural. Like you probably want a little bit of movement coming from that shoulder and from that elbow. So you look to add a little bit of movement. To the shoulder. Slash elbow. I always think of like diminishing returns as well when it comes to movements like this, where the movements aren't necessarily someone actually physically moving their shoulder. It's more a result of like wind pressure against limbs, or like tension of a muscle rather than them physically like pushing their arm forward.
Like they're bracing against the force.
Yeah, where it feels like the shoulder and the elbow are going to move less than the wrist. So because the wrist is an extremity, a small movement on the shoulder is going to translate to a slightly larger movement on the elbow is going to translate to a slightly larger movement on the wrist.
Cool.
So as you move up the limb from wrist to shoulder, you're looking at the movements getting increasingly smaller, and that creates a nice sense of overlap as well. So your main circular movement would be on the wrist as it is now, but you'll just have like a little bit of movement also coming on the elbow, and then you would have again just a small bit of movement, smaller than that of the elbow, on the shoulder. I think you've been really successful on the bottom of the material here. Like, I like that loop on the material a lot. The top of the material feels a little stiff, and I think you could probably get some shapes in there that just break up the straightness of these collars a little bit. So, get some. So if you guys know the whip motion, this is essentially it. The wave or the whip is so useful in so many different animations. But essentially, rather than just have a straight collar that wiggles back and forth, having just a little bit of curve in there that changes and whips around will make the material feel much less stiff. And from the way that the bottom of the material's moving, it looks like it's not meant to be super stiff. So in the collar, so the lines don't feel stiff. Lovely. I'll put nice loop on the foot as well. Looking at the hair now. I think the hair works. It might be nice to get a little more distortion in those shapes. It depends how much kind of wind pressure you want. I guess. The other arm is nice. You can see the movements in there from the elbow and everything. I feel like the necklace could maybe do with a little bit of love. Just in terms of, again, trying to find that triangular, circular movement. And I think the same thing with the heel. Down here. Is maybe we could see, where are my notes? There they are. Maybe you could angle the foot up a little bit more and add a little bit of depth by showing us the bottom of that foot. Add depth by showing bottom of foot. And I think tilting the toes upwards a little bit makes it look like they're falling down in preparation of landing somewhere, because they're getting their foot ready for the contact position, heel first. I don't know whether people who are sneaking around, like, do people who are sneaking around and trying to land quietly, do they tend to point their toes and try and land toe first?
I would have thought so. Yeah.
Because if so, like, I think this is meant to be a sneaky character, so it would make sense for them to not angle their foot up if that was the case. If they're like sneaking around, if they're jumping down from a rooftop. That's something I haven't studied enough to know. They tend to land tiptoe first and catch themselves with their legs. Interesting. Cool. Yeah. I'll put in brackets then. Unless sneaking.
If they're... yeah. If they're jumping from a truly high height though, then they'd probably...
Make him say yes.
not even... They would use their legs to kind of slow them down, but they wouldn't... They would, like, roll. So, I don't know.
Yeah, they would definitely want to land into a roll either way, I think, but... Yeah, this is super nice, the bird brain. This is awesome. Let me get rid of some of these needless notes where there's nothing on them. Just tidy up the timeline a little bit, 'cause I've left a mess everywhere. You know what? I probably shouldn't have combined the two because now my speed lines are going through all the notes. I'm sure it's fine though. Zeb will know what I mean by this stuff.
Cool. Who's up next?
I think so long as you bend your knees, Psycho, you'd be okay. It's all in the knees. Don't bend your knees and you're breaking your legs. Would really suck. So who's next? Let's see. It's Evelyn. I'd recognise the art style anywhere. It's a Toitle. It's a Toitle. Evelyn after my own heart.
What the turtle doing?
Have a look. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Oh no! Crying! Why? But it looks like happy tears, so it's not so bad. Let's see. I think it's difficult to do a 3-frame loop of tears specifically, because I have to travel so far. But I think you've done a good job in what you've done so far. Let's have a look. Let's have a look through frame by frame. Have you also done the... Yeah, you've done the thing that Tib did too, where you've joined certain parts of your loop onto other parts of your loop.
Yeah.
To give yourself 6 frames instead of 3 frames, which was super smart of you. Nice job. I think when it comes to something like crying, it would be really nice to have a little bit of wiggle on the eye itself.
Oh yeah.
Like just on the lower lid. So probably on frame 2, I would add... just push up that eyelid a little bit. I should probably actually just do this in blue. I can probably do this in the colour of your line art. Hold on. Let me get that. Because you have a white background on, so I can... I'm forgiving you guys for not using grids this week.
Oh. Sorry, just... The forgiveness.
The forgiveness.
Mercy.
Don't worry, guys. I forgive you. It's just how benevolent I am. I think just because mainly like stuff like this doesn't really feel like it necessarily needs one. So I'd keep it like as subtle as you can. You probably don't want a huge movement because you just really want to give the impression that the eye is like shimmering a little bit. But I've probably gone too big with it.
You could have a
would do
little
better job.
tremble on the mouth.
Oh, that's a good idea, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tremble on the mouth, it's good. And it'd be nice to offset what we're doing with the eyes as well. So if the eyes are going up here, it'd be nice to have the mouth going up on the other frame. So I'd maybe move the mouth down here instead. So we're getting some opposing action. You would have to do like a nicer, neater job than this. I think it kind of demonstrates the point, even if it's not the most elegant.
Yeah, cool.
So happy and sad at the same time. And then as for the tears themselves, let's look at some of those shapes, shall we? Because just as a general drawing point, I think you could think more in the contours of the face, specifically with the one which is more straight onto the camera. So let me see, I accidentally erased a little bit of your, a little bit of your tear here. Wait, it should go like that, I think. But think about I'm just trying to get to the hang of Think Sketch. There we are, I needed to do a line for it to erase my stuff on that frame. But think about travelling down the cheek like this. So you're showing the contour of that cheek. You're showing the roundness by the way the tear is choosing to trace down.
You could use the a couple of frames to show the tears welling up in the eye before they fall.
That'd be nice. Let me see.
Ha! I got to first Tib. Yeah! I don't know why I'm so competitive with Tib.
Here with this, thinking about the squash and stretch, it'd be nice to have, as the tear wells up, it's kind of a flatter shape, and then we can have it go more circular as it begins to fall down the face. If you get my meaning?
What's that?
I was just saying that as it wells up in the eye, you would probably have a flatter shape.
Gotcha.
And then it would go more circular as it starts to fall down.
Yeah.
So I'd say rather than have the tears kind of well up and then immediately drop down and for the eye to be empty of tears once the tears have dropped down, have like a shimmery welling of tears always in the eye, ever present. See. And then it's just spilling over when you are doing it running down the cheek, but we still get that liquid in the eye either way, like on every frame. The sheen of tears. So keep tears in eye. You okay, Mike?
What's the film where they go inside a dream.
What dreams may come?
No, they go into a dream and then they go into a dream within.
Inception?
Inception. I'm trying to think of these loops within loops.
Loops within loops within loops.
Inception loops.
Yeah. So here you would keep... Come on, you can draw. There we go. You would keep the liquid cylinder eye.
Looper.
And you do a better job of it than I do, but this will illustrate the point.
That dude is in both of those films. Funnily.
And then when it comes to the tear coming off the face, and this is just a personal style thing, so you don't have to follow this if you don't want. But what I think works and looks really nice is rather than have a teardrop that is like a very defined shape with a sharp end, because water tends to it's transparent and it blends with our faces. I like just showing this kind of thing where we can see it kind of blending with the face shape a little bit. I think it softens it and makes it feel less graphic. So that's up to you if you want to take it that way, but I think that kind of illustrates nicely the feeling of the liquid being semi-transparent and kind of blending into our faces a little bit.
That's cool.
When we weep.
Yeah.
And then in terms of the drawings of the tears, the last thing that I will say in terms of the tears is that when they drop, as a tear drops, it actually turns into a circle. So I think the oval nicely represents the camera blur, but when tears drop, what happens is that this part breaks off and this part travels down.
Yeah,
and
rounded shapes on your water.
Huh?
Rounded shapes on your water.
Yeah. Yeah, try to avoid sharp edges on your water. And as it goes down, it becomes more and more circular, essentially. So even drops of rain, if you find a photo of drops of rain where it's super in focus, you'll see that they're all perfectly circular until they hit something, or unless they've just run off the edge of something. So I'll put droplet, circular, in air. Unless you want to do the camera blur thing, I'll make them oval so that you're simulating the camera blur on them. But I would probably have this slightly more like this, if anything. Trying to maintain the amount of water drop that came off the face and not lose some of it.
You heard a very Scottish accent on stream or off stream? Is this someone outside your house shouting?
Oh no, what? And then when it comes to the impact, just think about making it a little bit less even. Evenness is not your friend in effects animation. You want things to feel as asymmetrical as possible. I say is I make it symmetrical. Asymmetry is hard for me.
Is that because you're a mirror being?
I just like things when they're symmetrical, so that's naturally how I draw them. Get some asymmetry.
I feel like I'm maybe similar to Ross in a way with my accent, where like certain words I'll sound more Scottish / Australian than others. Like I never learned to say it, or I learned to say it in a more Scottish way. Never, like Scottish. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm trying to think of something I could ask you to say which would sound Scottish.
Scotland! There you go.
I was trying to think of something where it would naturally bring out your accent without you deliberately doing it, but I can't. I'm trying to think of something with nay in it. But I can't think of anything that you would naturally say with that. Like, you don't use it day to day.
What about Widney?
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that.
You would nay. It's how I would say. You would nay.
You would nay.
You would nay.
Would
Scottish.
You wouldn't ever think to do something so brash and troublesome.
See, I forgot to add the note. Like, you're here, so you know the note about the eyes and the mouth, but I'll add it on anyway just in case.
Get out me swamp.
Ogres have layers.
Oh, ogres.
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 Yell at donkey for me.
Donkey!
Thanks, Mike.
That'll do, donkey.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
Because I'm interrupting this critique.
That's okay. I think I've given my last feedback. It's mostly drawing notes on the tears, to be honest.
Oh, India's really good at saying that one from Brave.
What one from Brave?
The Change Your Fate one.
Oh. Change your fate!
Would ya?
Would ya?
What about the heart? Asks Evelyn. No more critique. Move on.
Let me have a look.
No, it just grows in strength.
It does just grow and shrink. Yeah, I think that's nice. I think that is nice, yeah. What you could do is, because everything else is traveling quite a lot in this, you could keep that motion more subtle, I guess, so that you have like more ease going into it. You could have it more like it's like ba-dum, 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 by clustering your drawing closer together. So I draw down here. This is my heart. This is my heart stream.
The theme for next week is going to be a 2-frame loop.
Be kind to it. And eventually a 1-frame loop. Is it onion skin here that I can see? Ghosting? On. There we are. So I make this one bigger.
Inkapink says, critique to the heart and you're to blame.
You make animation harder to do. I submit my work and you draw all over it. You make animation harder to do.
Harder to do.
And then I'd like socially try and dial this back. See if this works. I have no clue if this will work or not. It's kind of tricky to draw with this pen. but I'm doing my best. Ah! The eraser's so big and the pen is so unresponsive and small. Okay. Hit ghosting off. So something like a bit more like ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. This makes it a little bit more subtle. A triangle and you move it in a triangle. I mean, I was thinking that Evelyn was wanting it to just like pulse in place. If you're wanting it to actually like move away from the head or something, I think you'd want to go for a circular motion. You're welcome, Evelyn. Thank you so much for submitting something to the Anna Morning Challenge.
Anna Morning Challenge.
All right. Next up, we have on 19.
Oh, cool. Let's see what they say.
What did Evelyn say anything?
Evelyn said, I pushed myself to include more to make it feel... Wait, sorry. It's hard for me to read at this distance. I'll make it bigger.
This distance, you're like right close to your screen. You're getting old and blind.
It was tiny writing.
Old blind bear.
Tiny writing. Evelyn said, I pushed myself a little to include more to make it feel more full and give the illusion of having more frames than you actually have.
Nice. Yeah, good job. I think you accomplished that.
I think this one is probably Andre's.
Yes.
Cool. They said, hello, I missed your streams a lot. I'm glad you're back. So
Aww.
For this challenge, I had trouble with the arcs of the legs mostly. I wasn't sure which pose would communicate better the arcs in 3 frames.
It's triangle time. Also, Sam Panselki says, hey, I'm lurking a lot, but I wanted to ask you, how could I participate on the Monday challenge? So I'm an animation beginner. Yesterday I did my first small hand-drawn animation, but I'm really motivated. That's awesome. Motivation is all you need. The will and the passion to go for it and to practice and to have fun with it. Thank you very much for Palbro linking that Anna Morning Bottissimo description. So yeah, we'll give you the new challenge at the end of today, and you just do it. And then if you check our Doig Swift Twitter, there will be a link to a form where you can submit your work, and then we'll look at it next Monday. You are super welcome to join, as is anybody else who may be lurking. I see you all out there, you lurkers. Okay, let's have a look at this one, at Andre's. It has a great energy about it. It's really like, fuck, I have to get there as fast as I can. Yes. They don't realise we're on an exercise bike. They're like, fuck, I need to get my carbon left oven on. So, like, the frenetic energy is really appealing here. I really like it. Let's see. It feels like the loop is getting stuck somewhere. Let me look through the frames here. It's so fun. Yeah, I think that back leg, you could make it feel like it's going in more of a circular motion. Look at that nice whip motion you've got going on the spine there. That's really fun. And the head's moving in this kind of circular motion too. I think part of the eagerness comes from the fact that they're not really on the seat. They're kind of almost pushed off the seat in their eagerness to lean forward. You might want to move that down just a little bit so it looks more like their rump is placed. It is placed upon the seat. But yeah, let's see. In terms of the motion itself, watch to keep the legs consistent here in the length. So here you have like quite a big gap on the hips between the two legs. I'd probably just smooth that out a little bit. And just make this a part of the leg so we can make the leg a little bit longer. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. Let me put on onion skin. That's a little bit easier to see. Then we put on more onion skin. It's even more easy to see.
More onion skin.
It's more onion skin. So I'll put watch like it doesn't shrink. Shrink in length. And then my note here was just to sit them down. Sit them on the seat a little bit more. Because it looks really painful. It looks like it's the way that they're not quite sat on the seat, they're kind of leaning forward. It kind of looks like the part of the seat which is this shape, as bike seats are, is going to just be like jabbing into the back of their butt in a really uncomfortable way. I can feel it.
Dark Vault. No, that's true. The last one was the Animals and Clothes one. This week, I didn't submit it on Twitter because I wanted a slow build up into doing Animarin challenges again.
What, you didn't put the challenge on Twitter?
No.
Michael!
I forgot.
Okay, the real reason comes out. I wanted a slow build up. Also, I forgot.
Yeah. I said I was going to.
You did say you were going to, which is why I was surprised that you were like, no, I chose not to.
I forgot.
Forgot.
He forgot he wanted a slow build up.
Yep, so this works, and then
Rumors has come out. Does Doig forget? Yes,
the
Doig
truth
forget.
come out. And then I think you just want this like to go backwards, because thinking about that circle or triangle that Tib was saying should be the basis of most of the movement in loops.
3-frame loops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's not very much backwards movement here to really make that movement feel circular. So I think pushing the back foot back a little bit more is going to give that to you. And then maybe you can move this front leg up a little bit. Let me just see what the previous frame was for this. Yeah. So maybe you can move this front leg up a little bit so that it doesn't feel so much like we're mirroring the positions between the feet. There we go.
Ollie says, does is it count to do challenge in 3 minutes, poggers?
I mean, yeah. As long as it's under 3 hours. I'm straightening that back leg out a little bit more because it feels like it needs it.
Your use of poggers confused.
Poggers. That's a thing. We're real twitchers now, Mike.
Real twitchers.
We're real twitchy now.
Okay. You're a twitchy witch.
Oh, thanks.
Ollie's first time using poggers, and they did the challenge in 3 minutes.
Nice.
The form is technically still open. Do you want a link to the form to submit it? The form is a whole other task though, so you have to do the form under 3 minutes.
Yeah, we're closing the form in 3 minutes, so if you don't fill it in within that time, then you have to fill in every single possible text field you can.
With 3 letters. Which is really convenient because your name is 3 letters. And the rest of the stuff is optional.
La 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 la. Just trying to make sure that I'm like keeping the length of the legs more or less consistent with one another. As consistent as I can be. Wah. So I'd copy and paste them if I could, but I can't, so it's gonna have to have one cycle. I'm not sure that my leg positions are working, so maybe this isn't the best feedback, so I'm sorry about that. I wish that I had like a bit more time to play around with it. I really like the positions that you have though, so if my feedback doesn't work and you try it and it doesn't look as good, then just go with what you have, because what you have has like a real fun energy to it that I really dig. And I don't want to lose that, you know? There's something like really fun about your original that I don't want to dampen. Like in general, I think you've done a really fun job of it. I really like that whip motion in the back. The way it follows from the head is cool. I'd say that you could contrast how fast the legs are moving by having the arms and hands more stationary. So it's like they're bracing against the front, and that would lessen the movement on the head. But I feel like the amount the arms are moving kind of make the movement feel more desperate and frenetic, and I kind of dig it. You know, because it's that arm movement, I think, combined with the leg movement that makes it feel really like, oh, I gotta go. So I don't think I'd ask for you to change that. If this hand movement here is the hand flapping up, I do think that feels a little bit unnatural. To have like this kind of shape. So I'd keep that more to what you already have, which is just them gripping the front of the bar. You know? Likewise here, maybe try to keep the hand positions just a little bit more consistent. So the hands aren't also flapping about, because they really need to be like, especially if the arms are moving all over the place, the hands need to be solidly on those handlebars to make sure they don't like face plant the handlebars. No calling me out for drawing everyone with 2 fingers, Mike. Not allowed.
I wonder why.
Don't look at me like that.
I was just wondering why ever could that be your shorthand for hands?
So that little bit of solidity to offset the rest of the movement, because the movement is so much, I think will really help. So keep hands, or keep hand position solid and consistent. Offset, or not offset, more like contrasts in a good way, you know. Contrasts with more frenetic movement.
Yeah, we got permission to play the Tales of Alethria music on our stream.
How cool is
It's so
that?
epic.
Oh, which reminds me, Tales of Alethria is at the minute doing a Kickstarter for a board game. You guys should all go and check that out. I was meaning to tweet about it yesterday, but I forgot. But yeah, you should all go and check that out because it looks super good. It's already funded, but they're going for stretch goals at the minute. And you get little figurines and stuff in the playset and everything. It's so cool.
I linked it in chat for you.
Thank you.
When will we get Doigopoly?
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? I have a bunch of homebrew rules for Monopoly that I really want to try out, and it turns it from I wouldn't say a simple game, but it turns it from a game that everyone kind of recognizes into something completely different. And I really want to try playing it with Mike. It's really ridiculous.
We should play it live.
The rules are really ridiculous. I don't know if they're going to work. I think they'll completely destroy the game.
I think we should play that, like, test that live. For how ridiculous it
I think
can be.
that'd be really fun.
Yeah. Just have, like, a camera pointed down at the board. You know?
Yeah.
And 2 mics.
Okay, well, I'll figure out the rules properly and we'll see if we can get that going at Christmas sometime. Our Christmas might end up being more like New Year's because of all the travel restrictions and such around COVID, because Mike and I aren't really sure what's happening between England and Ireland in terms of who's going to lock down what when and what's going to happen with that. We're not 100% sure if we're actually travelling home for Christmas this year or if we're going to have to leave having that break until kind of mid-January-ish. So you may end up getting Christmas content in January. I hope that's okay.
May end up getting
Christmas content in January.
Oh.
I hope that's alright with you guys.
What is our Christmas content?
Monopoly.
Oh, right, okay.
Or anything else we want to do that's Christmassy.
Oh, trying to live stream from one of your parents' homes. Maybe if it doesn't
I
sound
meant more
fun.
having the time
Gotcha.
to do that. You could play on our PC, but then I couldn't use all my ridiculous homebrew rules, Pablo. And when I say ridiculous, I mean they're ridiculous homebrew rules.
Okay, let me go grab Pogger's submission.
Okay, in the meantime, I will move on. Pinky Pink Art! Hey, thank you for your submission. Nice grid. I'm gonna immediately say nice grid, nice grid.
Nice.
Nice. What did Hinky Pink say on the form?
Pinky Pink said, I realized that you need to plan a loop better than I did because this isn't the loopiest loop. Also, now that I'm sending it in, I'm not sure if it was thought as 3 frames as in 3 drawings or 3 frames as in 3 frames on the timeline. If I missed the challenge's purpose, I'd understand if you skipped me. Your time is valuable.
Aww. No, we'll have a look. Look, it's coloured and everything. It's coloured!
It's really, really cool.
Ola says, that's so poggers. I think you're using it correctly. I think it's like Raven. You know, that's so Raven. That's so poggers. Say the word in its own, Ola. Poggers. How's that? Yeah, it's a lovely drawing. Let's have a look at what you did.
You will need to refresh at some point to grab this. There's a new one being submitted.
That's so cool. I think that totally counts as a 3-frame loop. That's 3 drawings. And you may have like scrolled the background, but that's just to like give us the a clear indication of what the movement is, you know? So this definitely counts, I think. Nice scrolling grid. Jeez, oh. This is super fun. This is really nice. You've done a really nice job. Let's have a look at these individual frams, shall we? That upshot. Get to see it up a nose. It's fun. Yeah, nice. Like, I like the way the foot positions here are very close together. So, you get almost like a little bit of squash and stretch in this weight position here. Like, you've got some nice circular motion going on with the feet, where the toe contacts first and then the heel. Like, nice subtle bits of overlap that make it feel more natural.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I feel like there's something we could do more with the hands. I'm trying to figure out what that would be. I feel like maybe we could get a more circular motion with that. So rather than this hand going... Rather than this hand here goes straight up, if you were instead to move it over a little bit.
Pink says, yeah, critique the shit out of it if you want! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Holy shit.
And I'd drag those sleeves a little bit. Although we'll see, like, because maybe I'll look at your frames and be like, oh no, you dragged the sleeves in the right direction. I just needed to play it to see. But maybe bringing this arm forward a little bit. Will give us a little bit more of a circular motion. Let's see. Let's see if it do. Or if it don't. Yeah, I think that will. Because we have the feeling here of this left arm, screen left arm, going outwards here. So it feels like by bringing it inwards when we're jumping, we're creating that kind of triangular pattern. So bring L arm, bring l'arm inwards.
Ola is saying can avoid the W pose a bit maybe with the, like, removing some of the symmetry. He's saying Hinkapink is asking, is the W pose too symmetrical? Ola says, yeah, I think so, especially since it's a quick loop, you notice it easily.
Yeah, so looking at avoiding the twinning there in the arms. Like, maybe that's something that we could do more with this arm. So instead of having the way that I drew it there. Because I think this arm is a little bit easier to adjust than the other one. But you could have it be more like this kind of thing. I'm going to have to just move my writing over so I have room.
Did you delete the last drawing you did?
Yeah.
But there's more than... There's a second loop where you could have done a new drawing.
Well, I've done it now. So.
Ola's screaming, no, don't undo.
Too late, it's gone.
Someone screen cap it.
It's too late, it's gone.
Stop deleting notes.
Why should I? There we go.
You're so destructive.
That maybe adds a little bit of nuance. You might need to bring this arm in a little bit more now, just to like smooth that out a little bit and make the movements not so big. But you can do that, no problem. I like the way that you have the sleeve trailing here as well. Nice. Nice! And then that means that you can have a little bit more nuance in this position. And maybe make it a little bit less W-ish, you know? Maybe you can send this leg backwards a little bit. So we have like a little bit of depth going on here. And like just a little bit of contrast. Let me put this on so you can see it better. A little bit of contrast between those two legs. So we have one coming forward and pointing for the landing, and one having just kicked off, kind of going backwards in space.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, bringing foot forward, in, prep for landing. And then kicking foot back in space. In space!
He was a dandy guy.
Space dandy! He's a dandy guy! In space! Kicking foot back in space. Yeah, like getting some nice overlap in these hands and legs to make them feel a little bit more nuanced. Adding more nuance to pose. I like the follow through you have on the fabric here too. Really nice. See that drag happening. Nice squash and stretch. I'd probably like squash them out just a little bit more.
Doig Swift, so good, I'll watch them twice.
Aww.
Nah, that's not me, but Enkun, that's not what someone said, that's me riffing, but
Oh,
Enkun says, God, I accidentally opened the stream twice and it's such a distorting echo.
Hello, 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 hello. Does it help when I also give it an echo deliberately?
One India's bad enough.
Hey now.
You are pretty terrible.
Hey now.
Like a force of nature sort of thing.
I'm an all-star.
You're a gremlin.
Oh, I am.
Full of love though.
This is the pose feels a little bit unbalanced, but I think it works in context. It's a shame we don't have one more frame to get a hair settle in there. You might be able to cheat it by having the hair drag up here. As we're coming down.
You know how people say terribly good?
Yeah.
Does terrible just mean like...
Great.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, it means large in scale.
Cool.
It's like a great and terrible storm. It's kind of like saying a big, big storm.
I'm gonna look, yeah. Because I used
like
to just
immense.
think it meant bad.
Yeah.
Extremely bad or serious. A terrible crime.
Mhm. I guess serious is a good way to look at it.
Yeah. Yeah, like terribly, very extremely.
I think this is lovely though, Hink Pink. Really nice work. I like the circle you have on the screen right arm is really nice. Yeah. Yeah, I was considering asking whether you wanted to break the wrist a little bit on it. But I think it's nice because it shows that you have tension in those muscles, and that the character is like deliberately holding their hand in that position. It's lovely work.
Yeah.
Lovely work. Break it. Yeah, like you could, when the wrist comes down, have that kind of trail upwards like this. But I also kind of like that you're implying tension in the hand by the fact that the character is like holding it that way. So I actually prefer it the way that you have it, I think. Alright, let's hop on. Palbro! Palbro!
Palbro says, "This was simply fun. First time doing this. Hard to decide where to place the hair drag."
Yeah, it really makes you decide, doesn't it? When you only have 3 frames to do stuff. Have a look. Oh, cute. I really like that you've changed up the positions at either end by having her only have open eyes on one and keeping the eye closed on the screen left position. Like, let's see. Cute frames. I think one of the things that I would call out is I think maybe the drag on the hair is too extreme in the middle. I would probably calm that down a little bit. And also probably try and make it less symmetrical. It would be cheating to add a 4th frame, but what you could do if you were going to like look to really refine this is you would have a different central position depending on if the character is going from left to right or right to left. And that way you could customize that hair drag to the direction that they're going in. Because right now, one of the reasons I suspect that you've made it symmetrical is because it has to work whether they're going from left to right or from right to left.
Yeah, so I think customizing it would be adding an extra frame. I think symmetrical pose here is efficient.
It is efficient, but I think we could still add more nuance to it.
I mean, you could argue that if you did one drawing and then you flipped it, then it would still be a 3 drawing loop.
That's true. That's true, you could argue that. You would still only have done 3 drawings. I think it would still be cheating a little bit. But
yeah.
But yeah, I would push the fringe up as much as you have it, because the fringe is lighter because it's shorter. Whereas the rest of the hair, because it's longer, is going to be heavier. So I would show the difference in the weight of the hair by how much I move the hair between the frames.
There was that submission from Porky way back where it was a 12 frame flip or a 12 drawing flip or something, and he went above and beyond and did like, I think it was only like 10 drawings, but he made a whole sequence that was technically only 10 drawings of us flipping.
Would you guys want to do a collaboration? I know not everyone here celebrates Christmas.
What are you doing? We did this years ago.
Yeah, but this would be so what we would do is, you know, that Christmas song, the
No.
10 lords are leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. How do you guys feel about, like, each of you guys taking one of those? And you're welcome to change what the thing is, so long as it's got the same amount of syllables. And we put together like a 12 Days of Christmas little animation where it's like a 3-frame loop, but you're doing it for like, say, 10 lords are leaping. And each person takes one, and then we play them together, and we've made the 12 Days of Christmas together.
I'll only permit this if it's Doig and Swift themed.
Oh, come on. Doesn't have to be about us. We can make it about us for your section if you want.
Doig
If you want to do like
and
4 dogs
Swift.
are sitting or something.
Hmm?
If you want to do 4 dogs are sitting or something. Like, I'd want people to be able to customize what their thing is. So if you got like 10 lords are leaping, you could change it to like 10 Sonics running or something, so long as the syllables basically fit.
10 Sonics running, do. Yeah, it could work. I just think the original lyrics are lame.
Well, yeah, that's why we would be able to change them.
5 Sonic rings.
I'd do 5 gold rings and have a Sonic loop. That'd be great. That's probably still a little bit too symmetrical. Look at me with my symmetry. You'll look at me with my symmetry.
What if it's something celebrating like maybe the Animating challenges or
We should make it like animation or art themed, like drawing themed.
yeah. $11 working trash bot.
Man, I'd settle for 1.
We could set it up in such a way to that anyone who takes it on has to take the next subsequent number. So it starts with 1, and then if you want to do it, you get 2. Then if you want to get the next one, you do 3.
We could do. I anticipate having lots of people all saying, yeah, I'd like to do that. So, immediately. And then how would we like, well, you're number 1.
I don't know.
We could just do a random thing where we're like, okay, we need 12 people who are definitely up for doing it. And then we just like randomly assign based on a random number generator.
There's only 12 things in the song, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could sing it too if you wanted. If people wanted to be like, I'm going to sing my part, then we could get just like a karaoke version of the song, and each person could record them singing their bit. That'd be pretty fun. I'd want Kevin to do one in that case. I need to hear Kevin sing his bit.
Yeah.
I'm basically I'm just looking to add like a little bit of asymmetry to this pose. So furrowing one of the eyebrows slightly more than the other.
A lot of people are like, yes, but no sing.
Yes, but no sing. Okay. We could do a separate one where it's like, who wants to help me sing this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to sing it, or I'm happy to like sing it with people if people want to take a part each. I wish I could. Can I duplicate this, do you think? I might be able to. We'll try it. see. Can I like copy it? I'm just going to try pressing Control C on it and see if it works. You know what, actually I'm not, just in case it decides instead to paste something in for my clipboard and my clipboard has something I shouldn't be showing on it. But that's kind of how I would take the center position a little bit more. Make it a little bit more nuanced. Let's see. Hehe. This is really cute. I like it a lot. It does make me wish that you had just a couple more frames. Like if you had one more frame at either end, you could add some hair drag on it, which would be really fun. But for a 3-frame cycle, I think it works well. I think breaking up the symmetry is something that you can do though, to just give it that little bit more life. I think you could do the same with this maybe. Just make that hair a little bit more, give it a little bit more life and drag. Maybe have the fringe drag over to the place they've just come from. That might work.
It's only like 4 or 5 days until Rabbit's
Oh!
animation collaboration for that boy needs
therapy.
What's that called? Psychosomatic?
Yeah.
What's the song called?
Something scientist, right?
Sorry.
We could probably check out just Rabbit's timeline, and I'm sure it'll be on there.
Let me just hype that up. Sure, he said.
Only humming on body percussion. Ham-boning.
Frontier Psychiatrist Reanimated.
There we are. That's exactly what I said. Something scientist. Nothing
Something
like
warring
what I said.
scientist.
Warring scientist. Yeah, I know, Tib, right? I do live on the edge. I should really make sure I clear my clipboard before
Wait,
the
did you
morning
paste
streams.
something?
No, I refused to paste in case. Because I think I might have something on the clipboard. So if it doesn't work, pasting the frame and instead paste something from a clipboard on there,
Oh, jeez.
then that could be bad.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. So I'm not going to do that.
Her hair is kind of made of pineapple. Oh, cool.
Oh, really? That's so cute. Oh my gosh. I understand why it would be slightly more stiff then than it would usually be.
Oh, it's like, do it, paste it. You do it.
Ola, you force of chaos, you. I can't. I wouldn't. I would never sacrifice this job, not for anything.
Pina, cool. Or Pina. Pina?
I wonder
Probably
if
Pina.
I wonder if in that case you could maybe, I'm just gonna add a new frame. Add maybe a little bit of depth to the hair. Like this kind of thing.
The pizza topping girls. Oh, cool.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable. I love pineapple on my pizza too, so represent. Like, I wonder if you could show that it's coming forward in space a little bit with this kind of thing. I know it would make her like a million times more complicated to draw, but it would convey that her hair is pineapple as well, pretty well.
Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza, instant cancelled.
You can try and cancel me, but I'll still be here eating pineapple on my pizza and there's nothing you can do about it.
He must say yes. Make him say yes.
Thank you for the follow, Mary Monster.
Thank you very much.
$27.27
What?
followers. 27.20.
Oh, that's your lucky number.
Twice.
No, 2,727 is your lucky number, right?
Yeah. Doesn't come up very often.
So adding this kind of thing, maybe.
I like it. Dimensionality is the spice of pizza.
If pineapple,
Chunky.
yeah, if pineapple may be chunky, and you can still try and get a bit of variety in those shapes. Maybe chunk. We might have to finish these off tomorrow, like these critiques.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I can't go long today.
You're right, my friend.
Because I have a deadline that I
Thank you
need to
for the
be
sweet
working on.
reviews.
So there's no way that the stream can overrun today.
Oh, well, how many do we have left?
Oh well, we have 4, including Ola's.
Okay.
I think we have Verts, we have Incoon, then we have the one that wasn't submitted, but which you gave me in gift form, and we have
Oh.
Ola's.
Yeah. Okay.
But I can give you guys the next challenge
Oh.
if anyone's even interested. I guess I can tell you guys what the next challenge is. It's a really fun one. Get ready to revisit your childhood, or just continue living as you do now. Do you know what it is?
I remember what you said, yeah.
You remember what I said?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys know, not even when you're just a kid.
Wait. I'm gonna add a stream marker.
Okay.
Cool. And thank you so much for the bits, Hinkapink Heart.
Oh, thanks, Hinka Pinkheart.
Okay,
You're super welcome.
you're good.
So it's something that I used to do as a kid, and I don't do it anymore mainly because I don't have a car, and because of various circumstances, I don't drive around in the passenger seat of a car very often anymore either, or really go outside anywhere. But when I was a kid, I used to stare out of the window and I would imagine Sonic running alongside the car and like jumping into the distance and stuff and zooming around.
Did you have him jumping from like lamppost to lamppost and along the barriers on
Yeah.
motorways?
And then he would like run up to the car and like run alongside it but backwards because he's so fast. Super fucking cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this week's challenge is we're going to give you some footage out of a car window, and your challenge is to animate over the top of it a character traversing that landscape.
Like an imaginary character.
Oh, you did
that.
it, but it was Roger Rabbit.
Mine was Sonic as well.
Yours was Sonic as well.
I used to also imagine like when I was walking home, him just like running along the buildings and jumping over beside me and stuff.
Yes. Did you do Spider-Man as well? Because sometimes I did Spider-Man.
No.
Okay.
Because I wasn't in a city with skyscrapers.
Fair. And he would never be seen dead in the countryside.
This is like such a connecting thing. Like Judicium's like mine was Mega Man. All his was Roger Rabbit.
Robin was using their fingers to jump things.
Tibbs was narcissistic.
Tibbs like, I imagine myself. Or you can do yourself, Tib. That's fine. Like, you guys can choose whichever character you want. You can animate fingers if you want. But
What?
yeah.
So what would this be called?
Um,
Imaginary friend run parkour footage.
that's a terrible title. What about running on empty?
Running on empty.
That's what I'm doing. We'll think of a cool title for
Road
it.
Trip Runner.
Road Trip Runner's pretty good.
That's
it sounds
pretty-
like the title of a Looney Tunes episode.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got the alliteration going for it.
I like Road Trip Runner a lot. That's
Meep meep.
Where are we going to get the footage from?
We'll find some.
Okay. Let's... Okay.
That's what.
Well, we can find it, but would it not be cool for like the variety of things we could see if people find it themselves?
Yeah, we could do. I think we're going to have to figure out a way to find some footage that people won't mind us using. Because I don't want to get in trouble for...
I got footage from our Japan trip where we're going by on a Shinkansen.
You do, but can you really see anything?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we'll have a look at that then and see if we can use that. Because if it's ours, we can say of a surety that people are allowed to use it.
It's true.
We give you a reason not to use a grid challenge. Yeah, you guys got off easy this time. You're welcome. Okay, well we have to head off. Are you ready to raid somebody?
That's who I'm looking for now.
Enku did dragon and wolf characters. Cool.
Let's raid Caro. I think she's just started up.
Okay. Caro.
Kerosene.
Ooh.
Oh no, she's been going for a bit. Cool. New schedule. Her schedule overlaps with our schedule.
Thank you guys so much for these submissions. We'll finish them off tomorrow. And have an awesome time at Caro's stream.
She's really cool.
I'm gonna go and get on.
Start raid.
You did it. And until next time,
May the rest
of your day
be filled
with adventure.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye. Adventure.
Owen. Okay, let me just quickly catch up. Oh yeah, shit, that's true. A goblin stabilized you? I really must know what happened. Did the goblin stabilize you?
Yes.